All right, I'm going to restart this again. And then I'm also going to create the resource and a model quickly for ratings data resource. I'm going to copy this, all right, so you don't have to see me type. Then create this rating class, which is going to be the model class. I'm going to put this in the models package. And then I'm going to go to the models. And copy this. All right, that's all we need. And now we have this going to ratings data / movie ID. It's returning one rating right now. It's a little bit different from what we need. What we need is for something to take in a user ID and return an array of ratings. But what I'm doing here is takes a movie ID and returns the rating for that movie ID. Why am I doing this? I'll get back to that in a bit. But for now, let's run this as well. I get an error. Ratings data / movie ID. Okay, so it's rating data / foo, and I get hard-coded rating 4. Okay, so we have created so far 3 Spring Boot applications which have no relation to each other. And this is how you would typically develop applications, right? You focus on a single area of concern, get that working, and then have the orchestration done as a separate step. Okay, so what we have now is these separate services. We're going to make the first connection, which is calling the movie info API from the movie catalog service. This is where we're going to kind of actually start getting into microservices, right? How do you make a call from the movie catalog API to the movie info service? We have to call it programmatically, right? It's not, you cannot type it in a browser. You have to write code that makes the call and parses it. Now this is REST. So all the things that get transferred over the wire is text, right? It's just string. There's no concept of a movie when you get a web response back. So not only do you have to make a call, get the response back, you also have to unmarshal it and create an object instance out of it. And then you can send it back, right? So Spring Boot comes with a client built into it, and it's called REST template. This is what you use to make REST API calls. It is surprisingly on its way to being deprecated. I checked last week, and they say on the documentation it says Spring Boot, REST template is going to be deprecated eventually. And then there is another way of doing this, which is called web client. REST template is the easy way. Web client is slightly hard because web client requires reactive programming. How many of you guys are familiar with reactive programming? How many of you are familiar with reactive programming in Java? Oh, nice. So, yes, RxJava. So reactive programming, for the rest of you guys, is a different way of doing programming in Java, which is not synchronous, right? It allows for certain asynchronous constructs. Even though the whole syntax and the structures around Java language is synchronous, it's kind of like a different paradigm, a different way to work around the synchronous nature of Java and provide for asynchronous way of coding, right? Kind of like future objects. You have, instead of doing step-by-step, you provide callbacks and say, I'm not going to wait around for you. Just call this function whenever it's ready, and you give it a function or a lambda, and then it calls it. So that's the web client way, and that's supposed to be the future. So I'm going to start with REST template because I'm sure if you're going to some code base for microservices today, you're going to see REST templates all over the place. You're not going to see a lot of web clients. That's like the new thing.